Big Brother Tonight, HOH Showdown sets the stage for the finale. The final stretch of Big Brother 27 is officially underway, and the September 26, 2025, episode will deliver the first major piece of the endgame puzzle. After weeks of shifting alliances, blindsides, and power struggles, the houseguests faced both an emotional goodbye and the grueling start of the three-part final head of household competition. With the jury now complete and only 3 players left in the house, every second of tonight's episode and its aftermath matters. Ava evicted in the live show. The evening will begin with the last eviction before finale week. Ava was sent packing in the September 26th live episode, sealing her fate as the final jury member. It was a tough loss for her allies, and it set the stage for an intense endgame. Ava's departure meant that only Morgan, Vince, and Ashley remained inside the house with a shot at the $750,000 prize. The eviction will also clarify the battlefield. Each of the final 3 has very different strengths. Morgan has been dominant in competitions, Vince has relied on strategy and social bonds, and Ashley has navigated the game with persistence and flexibility. With Ava now out, the 3 remaining players know the jury is watching closely, weighing every move. Final HOH Part 1, Endurance and Pressure. Immediately after Ava's eviction, the show pivoted into the final HOH competition. Tonight's episode featured Part 1 of the traditional 3-stage HOH battle. This round is usually an endurance test, designed to push players to their physical and mental limits. The stakes are simple. The winner of Part 1 gets a direct ticket to the third and final round of HOH, while the losers are forced to face off in Part 2. The feeds, which came back after the broadcast, revealed the results quickly. Morgan outlasted both Vince and Ashley to secure the Part 1 win. Morgan emerged victorious in what houseguests described as an insane competition. She herself told Vince it was insane, while Vince, exhausted and frustrated, called it ridiculous. In a moment of candor, Vince admitted, "You are just having the success I dreamt of having." The exchange underscored just how dominant Morgan has been in the season's latter stages. Morgan secures her place in Part 3. Morgan's victory is more than just another notch in her competition resume, it guarantees her a spot in the final round of the HOH, which will air live on finale night. Winning Part 1 provides a huge advantage. It allows her to skip the middle round entirely, saving her energy and focus for the decisive showdown. Morgan now gets to rest while Vince and Ashley must go head-to-head in Part 2, with the winner earning the chance to face her in Part 3. This sets up a fascinating dynamic. Vince, though shaken, still has fight in him. Ashley, who has fought from behind much of the season, knows this is her moment to prove she belongs in the finale. Both now face the pressure of a do-or-die competition. Meanwhile, Morgan sits comfortably with the knowledge that she cannot be eliminated before the last HOH battle. Strategic implications for the final 3. The outcome of Part 1 already alters the final 3 landscape. For Morgan, this win is another strong argument for her jury resume. She has proven her ability to dominate in physical competitions and stay calm under pressure. The challenge now is whether she can balance her strong competitive record with jury management, as sometimes jurors see dominance as threatening rather than admirable. For Vince, losing Part 1 was a blow, but he still has a chance to reset in Part 2. His confession to Morgan about dreaming of her success highlights both his frustration and the jury narrative forming around him. If he can win Part 2 and make a strong case in Part 3, he could still reach the end and pitch himself as the more strategic, less threatening option. Ashley's path is tougher, but not impossible. She has been resilient all season, surviving weeks where her name was floated as a target. Winning Part 2 against Vince would not only propel her into Part 3, but it would also bolster her case to the jury that she can compete when it matters most. The final week schedule. Tonight's broadcast will cover Part 1 of the HOH. Part 2 will air in the next episode, showcasing Vince and Ashley battling for the last shot at the final round. The live finale, airing in just days, will feature Part 3 of the HOH and the last eviction of the season, immediately followed by the jury's vote to crown the winner of Big Brother 27. This pacing means fans don't have long to wait. Every remaining episode carries enormous weight, and the suspense is designed to build to a climax on finale night. Jury stakes and the endgame. With Ava now seated in the jury house, the 9-person panel is complete. They will deliberate based on competition wins, strategic moves, and social relationships formed inside the house. The HOH results from this week will heavily influence how each finalist is perceived. Did they fight their way into the final two, or did they rely on others to get there? Did they control their destiny, or did they get carried along? Morgan, Vince, and Ashley each bring a different story to the table. Morgan can argue dominance. Vince can argue strategy and resilience. Ashley can argue perseverance. Ultimately, the jury will decide which narrative resonates most. Looking ahead. As of Big Brother tonight, Morgan sits firmly in control, having locked her place in the final round of HOH. Vince and Ashley, meanwhile, prepare for an all-important Part 2 duel. With Ava's eviction fresh, the jury complete, and the finale on the horizon, every move is magnified. Whether Morgan continues her streak, Vince finds redemption, or Ashley crafts an underdog triumph, the finish line is in sight. Big Brother 27 Episode 37, Who was eliminated from the CBS show? Big Brother 27 Episode 37 aired on September 25, 2025. The latest episode featured the elimination of Ava Pearl, who was the final nominee alongside Ashley. It happened after Morgan didn't use her veto to save either of the two nominated housemates. As a result, Vince had the power to cast his vote. He voted to eliminate Ava. Hence, she was sent home, while Ashley, Morgan, and Vince advanced to the show's final three. Before the voting, Ashley discussed the decision that Vince had to make, while Ava told him not to contact her outside the show. To know more about Ava Pearl's elimination from the CBS show, read further. Big Brother 27 Episode 37, with Ava Pearl going home, Vince, Morgan, and Ashley advanced to the show's finale. Recently released Big Brother 27 Episode 37 featured one more elimination before the show's finale. It was Ava Pearl who was eliminated from the CBS show after she and Ashley were the two nominated housemates. It happened after Morgan revealed the two housemates' names for the nominations, along with the reasons for their nominations. For Ava and Ashley, Morgan said that both of them had impeccable social games. That was the reason why she put them both in the elimination. Additionally, as usual, nominated housemates were expecting the veto power to be used later on. Hence, they still had a chance to save themselves by winning it through the POV competition. But it didn't work out well for the nominees, as neither of the two won. Morgan won the veto competition called the Organized Crime Task. Big Brother 27 Episode 37, What happened during the veto ceremony? During the veto ceremony, Morgan chose not to use her power, leaving both nominated housemates at risk. Later, fellow housemate Vince was tasked with casting his vote between the two. During the live eviction, Vince cast a vote against Ava. Earlier, when nominated housemates had a chance to pitch their side about why they should not be voted against, Ashley admitted that Vince had to make a tough decision. She hoped that he would make the decision that would be beneficial for his game. On the other hand, Big Brother star Ava opted not to pitch anything. She asked Vince not to contact her outside the BB house. After such comments, Vince voted against Ava, and she was eliminated. After leaving the show, Ava faced show host Julie Chen Moonves for her exit interview. Ava revealed that by telling Vince not to contact her, she was busting his chops. There was a video clip from before the house meeting featuring Ava and the fellow housemates. It showed Ava talking about going home and shared that Vince had told her not to take Morgan with him to the final two. He also warned Ava to not do for a man what he won't do for you. Ava revealed that by telling Vince not to contact her, she was busting his chops. There was a video clip from before the house meeting featuring Ava and the fellow housemates. It showed Ava talking about going home and shared that Vince had told her not to take Morgan with him to the final two. He also warned Ava to not do for a man what he won't do for you. Big Brother 27 fans have been buzzing since Keanu Soto's exit from the game. In a trio of post-eviction interviews, the evicted houseguest unpacked why he continued to trust Vince Panaro despite multiple betrayals, what he considers his biggest mistake, and whether he'd ever come back. Why Keanu kept trusting Vince Panaro. Soto characterized his relationship with Vince Panaro as a loyalty test that he kept trying to pass. In his account, trust built early in the season shaped decisions that later proved costly. He acknowledged that staying aligned with Vince after earlier fractures let emotion creep into his strategy. As he tells it in the Us Weekly interview, he believed there was still a path to rebuild, even as signs pointed the other way. That optimism ultimately left him exposed when Vince nominated him for eviction. Soto describes that week as the moment he realized how much his commitment had narrowed his options. Rather than pivot, he tried to weather the storm, a choice he now frames as instructive for future play. The biggest mistake Keanu owns. Speaking with Men's Journal, Soto reflects on a core lesson: he played too much with his heart and not enough with his head. He ties that approach directly to the trust he extended to Vince, conceding that loyalty became stubbornness. The takeaway, he says, is that relationships can be real and still require hard, timely pivots when the game changes. He also notes that information management matters late in the season. By reading signals sooner and preparing an escape hatch, he might have diversified alliances or secured safety through competitions and votes rather than banking on repaired bonds. How Vince's nomination felt from Keanu's side. In the Ash Post and Times interview, Soto describes feeling hurt by the nomination from someone he considered an ally, yet he stands by the values that guided him. He underscores that Big Brother tests more than strategy, it tests identity. Going out while honoring his word, he suggests, was painful but clarifying. It revealed where trust ends and gameplay begins. Importantly, Soto doesn't frame Vince as a villain. He frames the move as Vince playing for Vince, a distinction that matters for fans weighing intent versus impact. That distinction also shapes how jurors might later evaluate Vince's endgame.